Overall, it certainly is going to be, things are going to start changing as we head into the afternoon. So kind of doing this live weather hit here to kind of get you ready for a little snow. We do have a lot of cold as well. I'm going to cover all of the elements of this storm. It's not just the snow we're talking about. We're really expecting really not a whole lot of snow out of this. We're going to also experience a lot of cold air. So a lot of cold air is coming in as well. But right now, cloudy and quiet as we check out what's going on. We do have a little band of snow that's starting to develop as well off to the west of the Tri-Cities. But I want to kind of break down some of the advisories and some of the warnings that are in effect here for a region. So right now, you see the different colors on your screen. We've got that winter weather advisory that does include Johnson City. It includes Kingsport. It includes Bristol. And so Washington County, Carter County, and into Sullivan County. The rest of Northeast Tennessee, Hawkins County not in that, Greene County not in that advisory, just due to the fact that chances are those areas are going to see a little bit less in terms of accumulation. But there are those winter weather advisories in effect for the Tri-Cities, Southwest Virginia, Kentucky, all the rest of the region within that advisory. And of course, you'll notice the pink color on your screen, that's a high wind, well, not a high wind, but a winter storm warning rather, and that will continue, expires through Saturday morning. So we've got the winter weather advisory for the Tri-Cities, winter storm warning for the mountains, and again, that all kicks in this afternoon. So if you all have some travel plans around the region, especially over the mountains, this winter storm is going to certainly have a higher impact into those high elevations with more snow, more cold air, more wind, that sort of thing. So just to kind of plan ahead for your afternoon and evening here. It is a Friday heading into the weekend. And so it does look like there will be some snow that will be impacting travel in those areas. Now, here's a look at the radar view right now. We're starting to see a little bit of moisture kind of creep in across Northeast Tennessee. Remember, the atmosphere is still very, very dry. And so most of this that we see on radar is not reaching the ground. And so far, just cloudy and quiet. With time, though, some of this moisture will reach the ground. And so we do anticipate some of that light snow, that light wintry mix to move in around the Tri-Cities here starting early to mid-afternoon. And so that's all going to start evolving here over the next couple of hours. And again, what we see here across Kentucky, Southwest Virginia, most of this is really not reaching the ground. So still relatively quiet and dry so far. So let me take you through the rest of the afternoon. Here we are midday heading into the afternoon. And you can see that band of some snow is developing. And this is when we'll start to see that widespread snow across the Tri-Cities. I don't think it will be too heavy. This is going to be generally kind of a light snow initially this afternoon. And so some light snow around the I-81, I-26 corridor. So most of the Tri-Cities will probably start seeing some of this light snow moving in and into Southwest Virginia and as well over the mountains for, I would say, mid-afternoon for just a couple of hours. We're not talking about anything too heavy, but there will be some light snow widespread that we could start to see a little accumulation developing here mid-afternoon. And remember, as we head into the Friday afternoon, Friday evening commute, we're not talking about a blizzard here. We're not talking about a whole lot of snow, but maybe a little bit of snow. And you know, those roads that have not been pre-treated, we may see a few slick spots. So that's always something to consider as you plan out your Friday afternoon. Maybe some slick spots on the roads late this afternoon. I don't think there's going to be a huge issue, but again, maybe a little dusting, maybe a little half inch or so may cause a few issues on the road. So just plan ahead. Play it smart out there this afternoon. Then from there through this evening, you'll notice here more bands of snow that will be coming in. Now, these areas of snow, this is where we're going to see some of those higher snow rates and a little bit more in terms of heaviness of the snow amount, the higher snow rates. It looks like that will also come in this evening. So initially light snow, and then later this evening some heavier banding of some snow briefly. But it doesn't look like we're all going to see the snowfall this evening. Again, it's going to be kind of scattered around the region, so we're not talking about a heavy snow event for all across the region with this, but there will be that chance for snow this afternoon and then some additional snow coming in this evening. And I do think most of the snow is actually going to wrap up here probably by midnight tonight. In the meantime, the snow will continue in over the mountains. So here's kind of what we're thinking. You know, on the low end of things, probably about a half inch, not a lot. On the high end, could see as much as 1 to 2 inches. And that includes most of the Tri-Cities, most of the I-81, I-26 corridor, and so a ½ inch to 2 inches for most of the Tri-Cities. Now, we do want to point your attention to the mountains. Could see as much as 2 to 5 inches on the low end, 2 inches on the high end, 5 inches. And so I do think that the highest elevations over 4,000 or 5,000 feet will probably see closer to that 5-inch range versus the 2-inch range. Southwest Virginia along the Kentucky border, 1 to 3. And then further up into Southwest Virginia, again, you're going to see those higher snow totals in the mountains. So basically, we are anticipating some widespread light snow, not a lot, but maybe enough to cause a few issues on the roads here in the Tri-Cities. Some of those roads that have not been treated, of course. And then as we head into the mountains, again, the higher snow totals expected. So if you have some travel plans in and over the mountains this afternoon, this evening, there will be some higher snow totals there, maybe as much as 2 to 5. This storm system is really going to put down some significant snow. I'll put out some numbers here on the map here. This is going to translate into what we call a nor'easter along the East Coast. And we're talking about feet of snow. Feet of snow for the Northeast. That is where this system is really going to impact the region, is along the Northeast and along the East Coast. So for us, little snow through the day today, tonight, maybe a dusting to a ½ inch possible this afternoon, and then an additional ½ inch to 1 inch possible through tonight. So total, again, a ½ inch to maybe 1 to 2 inches, Tri-Cities, and as I mentioned, the heavier snow will be in the mountains, as much as 2 to 5 inches of snow. Now, the other side of the equation with this storm is the cold. And we're going to see a lot of cold. We're going to feel a lot of this cold air coming in tonight. Very blustery, very cold. And the temperatures tonight will basically dip into the teens. And these are our low temperatures here on your screen in the teens around the Tri-Cities. 14 in Greenville, 14 in Bristol. As you get up into the mountains, and we dip into the single digits. So this cold air, this is nothing to play with. You definitely want to be careful. You know, this kind of cold air could cause some frostbite and that kind of thing. And you don't want to be out in the cold when you talk about single-digit and low to mid-teen temperatures. And on top of that, we'll get to that in just a second, the wind chill values. These are highs tomorrow in the 20s, mid-20s in the Tri-Cities, teens in the mountains. So again, it's going to start getting cold this evening. We'll stay cold tonight, and it looks like we're not really going to see any relief from this cold air until Sunday afternoon. And that's when we'll finally start to see some changes there. But this is a look at the wind chill advisories. And again, there's going to be some significant wind and some significant wind chill values. And so as we head through this evening, you'll notice in the mountains, those wind chills drop below 0. So below 0 wind chill values likely in the mountains. Wind chill values here overnight in the teens. And then look at tomorrow. Even with some sunshine tomorrow, it's going to stay very blustery and very, very cold on Saturday. Again, wind chill values in the Tri-Cities will basically be in the single digits to low to mid-teens. Look at the wind chill values in the mountains tomorrow, staying below 0 at times. So we've got a lot of wind and a lot of cold air that's going to be settling in across the region starting tonight. So be prepared for quite a bit of cold. So we've talked about the snow, we talked about the cold. So those two elements are going to be impacting the region. Snow first this afternoon, and then the cold comes in tonight. And the cold will stick around through most of the weekend. If you don't have a weather app, make sure you download that weather app on your smartphone. And of course, you can always access that forecast anytime right there on your smartphone. But I wanted to go over all the details here. And again, this is not going to be a huge major winter storm for the Tri-Cities. A little snow. All right, a little snow this afternoon, and then a lot of cold coming in tonight and into tomorrow. So that's kind of how things are going to break down this afternoon weather-wise. Hopefully you will stay warm and stay safe here through the afternoon tonight and into the weekend. And of course, again, we'll have the forecast updates throughout the day on our website, WJHL.com, and also on our weather app.